we are Nerds of the West, and today we are giving you our thoughts on Splendor Duel. This is a two-player adaptation of the famous Splendor board game. The dog is making a bunch of noise, but we will be telling you with our noises what we think of this game so you can decide if it might be right for you. And at the end, we're going to rank it on our Nerds of the West ranking list. This is how we review games here, not on an objective 1 to 10 scale, but just, if given the opportunity, what we personally would prefer to play. Let's just take into account things like table space, how much playtime it takes, how the learning goes, all those little things that make up your enjoyment of a game. My name is Tom. We have a Chris.
Yo.
Chris, are you able to tell us in a brief overview how this game works and what you are trying to do?
All right. For anyone who's played the original Splendor, it's quite similar, but there's a bit more complexity to it. Essentially, there's a nice area of gemstones in the middle of the table, and both Tom and I, opposing one another, we're trying to vie for the best arrangement of gems that we can so that we can purchase cards from the market. These cards contribute not only permanent bonus gems towards our value, but also victory points, which is a victory condition, of course, and other symbols such as crowns and stealing or extra turns, all of these additional benefits that come in different combinations that you can make use of to try and build your engine and be the supreme gem collector, the gem refiner. So,
victory conditions. What are the 3 victory conditions that you need to meet, and how might you be getting there?
3 victory conditions are that, as in the usual Splendor game, that you can make it to 20. It was 15, but in this game it's 20 victory points is the winner. Alternatively, if you have 10 victory points in a single column of colored gems, you can win the game that way. And lastly, if you have 10 crown symbols from among your collected cards, which look like this at the very top, oh, yeah, there we go. You win the game that way as well. So there are different angles to win the game, and what you'll find also is that your strategy can certainly change midway through the game based on what you have available and the victory condition that seems most easy to complete.
The main difference from the original, and I think my favorite part of this game, is definitely this board in the middle. Instead of just being piles of gems that you choose what you want, you can take 3 in a row of anything in here except for gold. The gold is then just on the board, and once again you can take gold to then take a reserved card for you to build later on. And I just love the strategy that brings of, all right, if I take these 3, then there is less choices for you to take those 3 there. It also just opens up just so many options for, I only need 2, but I know you need this, so I can take this. Just everything about this is more strategic than the original, which I love.
Absolutely. Like the level of interactivity in this game is in a sweet spot. I never felt like completely shut out of the game by Tom, and I'm sure he didn't either. No, but those little interactions where you're taking one additional gem that you know your opponent might need, or the stealing action I made use of quite a bit, or the contest for these 2 very precious pearl gems, which are new to this edition of Splendor. That level of interactivity is healthy, and it was really fun. I did enjoy it.
You definitely needed the extra interactivity of the cards, this board, and specifically the pearls to make a 2-player game viable. So regular Splendor, you just rush to the end. You can always basically have a choice to do something.
Yeah.
This, if you need a card with a pearl, and cards with pearls specifically are harder to play because no card will give you a pearl bonus. The only way to play pearls is by having pearl tokens or having gold tokens. So you need to get those limited resources to build the more powerful cards, and they're more powerful because they're the ones with abilities on them. And just everything leads to going, what can I build right now, but what is helping me get towards a win condition? So an extra turn is a huge thing, but is it worth taking the 2 extra turns to get the cards and the tokens you need for it? Side note, once again, the tokens are the lovely thick Splendor tokens. Love them. Amazing.
So glad they kept with that.
I loved that the nobles weren't as much of a focus this time around.
Absolutely.
I know my focus in original Splendor was always gun for 1 big card at the end and 1 noble, and that will usually win you the game if you can pick up enough points along the way by doing that.
Yeah.
This, it was, if you can pick up a few extra crowns, you'll get an extra ability right at the time you need it. Or if you gun on crowns, you've jumped into the lead because you've gotten 2 extra abilities very, very quickly.
Yeah,
it was a nice extra, tempo instead of victory points.
Exactly, yeah. One thing I did really like about the game also is that there's this kind of like it's not a catch-up mechanic, but it's like an offset mechanic of these are called privilege scrolls or privilege tokens. And the idea is that whenever your opponent takes a powerful action, you qualify for one, such as replenishing the board. Your opponent actually gets that little leg up. And there are also cards that come with that power to grant you the privilege token as well. So they're always worth considering rather than just simply focusing on victory points only, like in the original Splendor. There is a bit of variety to strategy in here that you don't find in the original Splendor.
You do get privilege tokens if you take 2 pearls or 3 of the same. We never saw that happen, but I think it's just a good disincentive to do that.
That's right.
Because a privilege token is a free token. Before you take your turn, you can just get a token that you need, which can put you over the 10 tokens if you need a lot of tokens, or can get you the 1 token you need to build on your turn. And just, I think everything we're saying, hopefully you get the idea that everything in this game just helps you build combos more. Everything, including these cards, that can become any colored gem. You have to put them on a gem that you already have. You can't just go, I have a blue now. You don't know what a sapphire looks like. You can't just make one. Everything feels stronger and better and therefore more strategic and very well balanced over original Splendor.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I would struggle to say, as much as I love Splendor, that I would play this over original Splendor.
100 times, yes. Same here.
I love it. I love it. It's great with like 4 players, but this is a better game. It's faster. It's easier. It works the same way. Just everything about this is good.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I know this is specifically designed for 2 players, and most of the mechanics complement that. I just wish there was some way mechanically you could translate this experience to a 4-player game. I would play that every single time.
Well, the 4-player version of this is just Coffee Rush.
Yeah.
Right? It is. They're very similar games that work in similar ways. I definitely prefer this to Coffee Rush.
Yeah.
While it's the same picking up tokens from the middle of the board and moving things around, this just feels tighter. You are never out of the race. The take that abilities don't feel that bad to take cards and tokens away from someone else. Like everything is just strategic and fun and satisfying. I wish there was more I could say about this, but the game is simple but strategic. What more do you want from a 2-player game?
Certainly.
Do you have any other thoughts on it?
Mechanically, pretty much perfect. I can't find a fault with this game. I'm sure if I played it 100 times, I might be able to nitpick 1 or 2 things, but from what I've seen, this works really well.
Yeah.
The component quality is great, like we've touched on. The size of the cards, they're a lot smaller than the original, which can be more fiddly, but you can bring this game to a smaller table. You can play it out at the park. You know, it's more compact. There's kind of nothing I can really nitpick at this game for being suboptimal. It's really well designed, and mechanically it works really well.
The art is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Even when the art doubles up. There we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go right there.
It's the same art, but it makes sense. You're a gem maker. You're going to be making the same things and just getting better over time until you eventually make, the best version of it. It's satisfying. It's fun to play. The art's gorgeous. But where would you rank it, Chris? Considering everything, where would you put it on our board? A 2-player game is very hard to judge because you can crack it out more often as long as you have someone available with you. This is our board as it stands in the middle of this year. That is the super thing.
It is.
One day we'll figure out a way to make this not reflect lights, but it is just how it is. If you do want to see the whole list, it is up on our website, so you can see where everything ranks after we get things going. I love a good 2-player game. I definitely don't play 2-player games as much as I should because I like to play variety, and variety means more often than not. But this is definitely up there as a 2-player game I would crack out over and over again. You're okay, buddy.
Even Tank wants to play. That's what the whining is.
I think I would have to put it just under Ark Nova. I love playing Ark Nova, and I love playing Ark Nova at 2 players. Even though Ark Nova is a longer game, Ark Nova at 2 players is so head-to-head and tough.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's all right. How much more room do you need?
It's all right. I'm slim.
So for me, it goes just under Ark Nova, but definitely like the best 2-player game I've played this year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like 2-player game, I would probably play this up and above loads of other 2-player games I've had. On the board, there are so many good games. Every time we come here, the problem is these games are so great.
We play the games we want to play, so of course we're going to think they're good.
That's right. You mentioned Coffee Rush. Coffee Rush is right here at about the 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 mark. So I'd certainly play this above Coffee Rush. Yeah, I love both games.
How did you feel about Trick Draw? We didn't get a chance to play Trick Draw 2 players together, but it is a similar, very tight back and forth.
That's right. I'd probably put it on par with Trick Draw. Yeah, I would certainly play this at the same kind of level as Trick Draw. 2-player rankings make it incredibly easy because we just average the two together. We do, however, re-rank this at the end of the year. Everybody here at Nerds gets a chance to vote on all the games that they have played, and we'll see where Splendor Duel ends up. You can also let us know what you think of Splendor Duel in the comments down below, and join us live in the future on twitch.tv and youtube.com/nerdsofthewest. I think this is the last stream. Tank will be here, so say hi to him as well. I've been Tom. And I've been Chris.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you next time.